Hey everyone, it's Young Skeleton here again, and in today's video, as you can tell by the title, I'm just gonna be rambling about the state of the game, and the future of the game actually too. So, yeah, if you don't like these rambly types of videos, I don't know, you can just click off. This doesn't have a script or I don't have anything particularly prepared. Um, so yeah, let's talk about the state of global right now. I really like the way the things are going, the way the games is going. Um, our metagame is very developed, and we have come to a point where you can get away with in PvP using a lot of things. I think this is like the healthiest the game has been. And I think usually I like the JP metagame because it's more advanced. But right now, because of the way things are going on, I'm not really sure if I enjoy it. Uh, Maybe I'll touch on that a bit more specifically later. What else? Oh yeah, the global, how do I call it? Scandal or non-scandal. A lot of people are angry at Gumi. I'm not. Uh, I mean, I don't know if a cabbage or what's his name? I forgot his name. Oh my God, I'm so stupid. Uh, or Umberraze, yeah, that's his name. I don't know if Umberraze or Cabbage, if either of them watch my videos, but if any of you is watching right now, please don't be offended. I don't mean like to be like uh to call anyone out or anything. This is my opinion, but I think Umber Rays is way too angry and Cabbage is kind of way too forgiving. I'm kind of in the middle of them, but I'm still like leaning towards Cabbage's point of view. Um, well, let me explain better, right? I do think that it's pretty obvious that whatever issue was going on in JP has been in the game like for a long time, but we don't have proof, right? That's the thing. In JP, they mapped out the whole thing and how it worked. Here in Global, we're just like, they did in JP. We can just say like for sure that it is like that, you know. The sample size that we had was not that big. We had like what 10 screenshots and a few other people saying like, oh yeah, it happened to me, but with no proof. And in JP again, they had the whole fucking treadmill mapped out and figured out. So it is a very different situation. Even if I do believe that the tables and the fucking treadmill was in global, and perhaps it still is in global, and they haven't fixed it. Uh, but the way that people reacted was just so awful. I think we could have handled that way better. Uh, how do I say it? I think everyone, and that's where I kind of agree with Cabbage, right? I think people like blew it way too much, and we didn't have enough evidence. And and where I agree with Umber Rays more is that like you have the right to be angry and to like be pissed off at the company. But I think that if you're going to express that, you have to be really careful because again, this type of game is not really huge, right? It makes a lot of money, but it's not especially huge. There's a small group of people that invest a lot of money into this type of game, and and when you have like a relationship like that, like a small group of people that's like consuming a product made by a company, like this type of shit can affect like pretty harshly the way the relationship between the company and the players. So my advice is if you're like if you're not satisfied with something, be vocal about it. Like you can't because if you let it, they'll if you let them get away with like uh grimy shit, they will continue. They will test the waters from time to time just to see like if players are tolerating their bullshit or not. But I do so in a more respectful manner. Uh, n Not only that, but you're not entitled to anything, you know. Mm, I mean, you shouldn't. They are doing, like, how do I say it? They aren't doing anything illegal from what I can tell, right? Uh, and even if they were, which is the case with like the JP, the whole JP fiasco, like you have to come up with evidence. You can't just say, "Oh, you did it once, you do it again," you know. You have to come up with like real solid evidence. So, like if you have any problems with the way the game is, don't internalize them. Like i- don't avoid talking about them, but talk about them in a way that is not okay, inflammatory. That's a very good word. Yeah, I think that's the word I was looking for. Don't make inflammatory comments and threads on Reddit if you don't have like all the evidence that you absolutely need to make sure that you're right. And this was not the case in global. Uh, but I do think that, of course, the company is like to be blamed here, at least in part, right? I'm not a fan of the level 120 thing. I am hoping that it is not as bad as I think it will be, but like my drive to play the game, it has been it hasn't been like as it used to be. Uh, and you could say that it's because the game is kind of old right now, but I disagree. I still play old games all the time. Uh, I still play Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is a game that's, I don't know, fucking 20 years old or whatever. I still play Dragon Ball Fighters, which is 3 years old or 2 years old, whatever. Um, I still play Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which is pretty old. Uh, Let me check out my Steam library over here. I still play fucking Age of Empires 2, you know, pretty consistently. I used to speedrun Dark Souls 1 for a long time and whatever. What I'm trying to get at is that I play games for long times. I don't like picking up new games every fucking month or whatever. Uh, and I don't know, like knowing that the power will spike like so soon when there were obviously like new ways that they could go to keep things fresh before raising the power level just makes me not to mention that now talking about GP, I think that the meta game there has taken a turn for the worse. I think they are focusing way too much on single element teams, and I'm really not a fan of that. I much prefer the variety of that Global has right now. Uh, Seeing like JP PvP videos of like Yuna just makes me go like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to deal with that in like 3 months, and just like fucking, ugh. I hope to God that Rain is good enough to hold his own against her, but I'm not really sure. I'm probably gonna run something like Rain and like the other two. I'm gonna see who's like featured in PvP, like who's giving extra bonus points in PvP. Use that unit and another good unit versus mages of the same element. I don't fucking know. Uh, and that's what I was talking about GP, right? It's not really in a very fun spot in my opinion. It doesn't really seem to allow for a lot of innovation when it comes to team comps. Uh, and now going back to global, Dwayne coming out like a cost 100 unit limited just before EX jobs come out. It's coming out in like what, 2 months, 3 months? I'm like, oh my god, yikes. And it's strange because I really want to pull for him. He seems like really, really fucking strong, but when I remember they'll have like, again, when I remember how my luck was when I tried to pull for the last fucking all limited units, oh, it just makes me feel not really fucking uh up for it. I don't know. Uh the like the Christmas units, I think that they were like a pretty awesome like event because they had like a paid Vizier banner that you had like 50% of getting like each of them. So it was 50% chance Christmas Mastery and 50% chance Christmas Ramadan. If they had that on Final Fantasy IV, man, even if it was 10k paid Vizier, I would have pulled. And the only reason I didn't pull for either of them was because I was so fucking dried. Not only on Vizier, but also on real life money. Uh, I spent more than I should have on Kane. And if I had I spent more, I mean, it would have compromised like real life finances. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do it. I'm smart enough to not do that. Uh, but yeah, so it's so sad because I really love Final Fantasy IV, and that was kind of the final straw, I think, for me when it comes to limited units. I still prefer pulling limited units, but whaling for them, like putting money in the game for them, is just like, yeah, I don't think so, Chief. But yeah, Dwayne, not only that, but I'm saving for Larudo or Lardo. I'm not sure how he's gonna be translated, and the fucking Black Rose Helena card. So Dwayne just gets like less and less appealing every time I think of it, which is a shame because I really need a physical attacker with breaks. Because right now I don't have like a good physical breaker or a slash breaker at all. The only slash breaker that I have is Rain, but his break is kind of a mm, kind of, I don't want to say limited, but like the applications of it in single player content I think are limited. Hmm, what else do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, I was thinking about it, and a fun implication of EX jobs is Ildera and the calculator subjob. Let's see, calculator. Is it arithmetician? Yeah. These two units. Let's go for Ildera. They have a skill. Uh, these two, I think. Yeah. This is level 4 to level 3. So what it means, like, if your skills deal bonus damage if the target is a level multiple of 3. And this was a fucking staple. You kind of had to use it because you were fighting against level 99 units. And I used to run magic, like magic cup, just because Ildira's like multipliers aren't that high. But now that EX jobs are coming around, uh, units are going up to level 120. And guess what? Level 120 is a multiple of 3, yes, but it's also a multiple of 4. So you can stop running this and start running height 3 to height 2, which is also going to open up a lot of possibilities, and it's gonna make calculators even strong. And especially Odira with her special card, the Christmas card. Not only that, but the like the fact that you're like freeing up this, you can also use on Yildira at least. You can use the magic resistance, so she can be a better unit to fight against mages. And let's go back to little Leela here on skills. She can like she can also use not use this, or like alternatively she can use both Shikuchi and Shadow Step, I think, Shadow Walk, whatever. So it's gonna be interesting to see how people are gonna change their calculators or future calculators for that matter. Um, is there anything else that I want to talk about? Um, oh, a few quickies. Too bad that Christmas, Victoria and Christmas Venera didn't come to global. I kind of wanted them. Hmm. I hope that all future limited units, or at least as much as they possibly can, come in pairs and with a banner or summon that is similar to the one we had for Christmas Mashuri and Christmas Ramada. That is such a fucking blessing because I like collecting limited units, but I ultimately don't care about who I get. And again, I'm kind of done with like spending real money for limited units. So I don't know, man. If I don't have a way to guarantee that I am getting one, I'm not gonna do it in the future. And fuck the metal way, the one where you spend like 2,000 medals and you get is a limited unit. That's so fucking shit. I hate that. And the only reason I did it for Rario was because I was being impulsive and because I really liked his TMR, so I really wanted his TMR. But yeah, after my experience with Kane, like again, I had a better experience with all limited units that I tried. The only limited thing that I got that wasn't a fucking disaster was the Christmas card. But again, I tried to get Ramza and I could only get him because of medals. I tried to get the Death Machine card. I spent like 20k Vizier trying to get it, and I didn't get either the card or Warrior Flight. It's only like 10 pulls, but still like 10 shots is 100 attempts, so and nothing. And with Raryu, again, spent 40k Vizier, 200 attempts. I didn't get him or Halloween Leela. Had to resort to fucking medals. And Kane, I didn't even have a way to get him with medals, so I spent like 50k Vizier and I didn't get anything. That was very frustrating. In the future, if the limited unit does not have a paid Vizier guaranteed way to get, even if it's just a 50-50 chance between like two limited units, I'm not gonna go for it. So yeah, I think that's the video. Uh, just a ramble and just talking shit or whatever while Final Fantasy IX soundtrack plays in the background. This is gonna be it for today's video, and I don't know, I finally got to talk about level 120 a bit more and the scandals. I didn't want to talk about it, but seeing as the subject is still talked about a lot, I don't know, I just wanted to give my 2 cents, even though my opinion ultimately I don't think matters a lot. But yeah, soon enough, I'm gonna make a new tier list. I think that when Luartha comes out, like a week after she comes out, I think is gonna be enough time for everyone to figure out her and Dwayne, at least enough to use them a bit and for me to fight against them a bit. And and yeah, and I still have to talk about King, Rosa, and the Christmas units. So I'm gonna talk about them in a new tier list, I believe next week. I see you guys soon. Bye bye.